We have Councilmember Mikalash. She's in Cleveland again.
Yeah, poor girl.
Is she on?
East somewhere.
Yeah,
Back.
Heidi's in New York,
Yeah, she's like, I'm back east.
but Denise is on Zoom. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi there. Yes, I just shoveled 5 inches of snow off my rental car this morning. So wouldn't prefer to be with you all.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. Welcome everyone to our December 2nd, 2025 City Council meeting. We have a couple items on the agenda. Should be an early evening for us. Of course, those are the famous last words. Just jinxed us, but we will start as we normally do with the Pledge of Allegiance, if you wouldn't mind standing.
Don't you mind?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Rory, will you call the roll?
Sure. Councilmember Glover.
Here.
Billings. Here. Mikalash.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
And Councilmember Robinson is excused.
Okay, we have 4 council members present, so we do have a quorum. We will move on, scanning the room to see if Unified Fire is not here yet. So we will skip to general business item D, community building community presentation. And amongst others, we have Mauricio. Mauricio, good to see you as always, my friend.
Thank you. Good evening, Mauricio Gramont, Midvale Community Building Community, 49 West Center Street. So glad to be here, and thank you, public directors, city council, mayor, city manager. Thank you for the opportunity, Rory, Matthew. I know a lot of folks here, and I'm very glad to be here to share a little bit of what we are doing at the Midvale CBC. First of all, thank you for your support. The CBC would not be able to be where we are without your help and support. I'm going to have Steve Bass, our director of operations, do the little presentation of the activities that in the accomplishment that we had at the CBC. We also, I'm going to have 2 of our student leaders, Bella Waller and Kate Solik. They are the ones who are helping our patients get the access to care, primary care they need. We also have our lead community health worker, Magali Velasco. But with that said, we're going to start with Steve. Then I'm gonna ask our student leaders to share a little bit of their experience at the clinic, and we'll finish with some questions and comments. So with that said, I'm gonna let Steve Bass start with the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mauricio. Welcome, Steve.
Good evening, Mayor Gettle, members of the City Council, City Manager Dahl, City Attorney Wilcox, and the staff present. Again, my name's Steve Bass. I've been introduced, and thank you for inviting community building community to make a short presentation tonight. And just get right into it. The CBC's mission and vision, I would just mention in passing that the CBC was born out of a city initiative back in 1998, I believe it was, where they wanted to find out what the issues were and are related to health and safety in the community. And out of that grew the CBC, and we eventually became a 501c3 community health clinic and family center in 2012. And the basic mission and goals are to provide healthcare access to uninsured working families. That's our primary clientele. To reduce emergency department use through primary care services, and to train future doctors. And we have two of them right here today. We're so blessed to have them, and you'll hear from them a little bit later. The overall aim is for a holistic approach to enhance overall health and well-being in our cities and in the larger, or for our clients in the larger community. So we have what we call the four pillars of the CBC, and they're basically our four major service areas: medical services, dental services, mental health services, and family services. And I'll explain in a minute a little bit about each. But we also use what I believe is a very innovative and perhaps unique in this area model. Because we have so many services, we call it the integrated services model. And it's taken off the well-known balanced health triangle, which says for well-being, there's the physical part, there's a mental part, and then there's a social part. And you have to have a good balance of all of them to have health. So we try to approach our services that way. And how it works is if a client or a patient comes to the CBC for one service, for example, food distribution, which we do through the Utah Food Bank, or medical, then our community health workers talk to them, engage them about all of our other services: dental, mental health, parenting classes, youth classes, and so forth. And the community health workers are the glue that make that happen between the providers and the different areas and the clients and patients. So going into a little bit of the services, we have really full medical services. Again, thanks to the University of Utah, the School of Medicine. They have professors who are assigned to the CBC and come weekly. And then we have our wonderful students who assist the professors. And we also have private volunteer doctors who come on a regular basis. So we have primary medical care. We have pediatric care. One of our co-directors from the University of Utah is a pediatric specialist. Actually, they both are internal medicine and pediatric care. And then we have a long list of specialty care, which I'm pretty proud of: internal medicine, OGBYN, dermatology, ophthalmology, physical therapy, neurology, orthopedic, and audiology. Made it through the list. But and some of that specialty is administered at our facility, which is right next to the U.S. Post Office here in Midvale. And some of it is through referrals, and we refer to specialists at IHC and also the University of Utah Health Services. So we cover quite a range. Dental services also, we have full services, full adults, fillings, extractions, implants, crowns, root canals, and even more. We have full pediatric dental care. We also have dental hygiene. We both have a wonderful staff person who's a dental hygienist, as well as we partner with Salt Lake Community College dental hygiene program. And they come every, I think it's twice a week now to do cleanings and so forth. We do dental health education, especially with kids. And speaking of kids, we participate every year for the last, I don't know how many, 10 or more years, with Give Kids a Smile Day, which is an annual event sponsored by the American Dental Association at the university dental facilities, where kids get free dental care. And we screen and bring about 150 kids there every year in February. Mental health services, we have both individual and group psychological therapy, peer support with certified peer support specialists, emotional support groups, and last year we've even had some psychiatric services available. Family services, and this is one of our kind of growing areas in the last couple of years. We became a Utah Food Bank Distribution Pantry. And we also were a distribution facility for the Utah Diaper Bank, which is now merged in with the Utah Food Bank, which you probably know. We have parenting classes like Guiding Good Choices, Love and Logic, after school and youth classes. We have some emotional support classes there. We also have violin classes, yoga classes, and starting in January, going to have guitar classes. So anyone interested in learning guitar, let me know. We have nutrition and fitness classes, including the Zumba and the yoga for adults and for kids. We have legal consultation services, and we also distribute clothing and household items at no cost. So for the demographics over the last year, the fiscal year 2025, we had the total number of health visits. Now that would be medical, dental, and mental health, 7,933. Of those, we had a total of 1,931 new patients. And the total uninsured and underinsured, which is our main focus, is about 90%. The income breakdown there, you can see below 100% of the federal poverty line, 37%, 101 to 200%, 41%, and above 200%, 14%, and then 8% unreported. Gender, we have about 56% female, 42% male, 2% others. And age breakdown, you can see 0 to 18, 21%, 19 to 64, 30, 73%, and 65 and above, 6%. So that's our demographics for the year. And another part of the CBC that we value and treasure is our community service and giving back. We have about 150, actually our CPA counted them up for us yesterday, 150 volunteers at the clinic and the food pantry and other services. Last year, we are a proud member of the Uplift Midvale Coalition. In fact, our Director Mauricio is the chair of that coalition. We volunteer regularly at the Harvest Days and the parade. You can see our little float there in one of the photos. We also volunteer at the Los Muros on Main, the Mural Festival, of course. And then we were very proud to receive last year, 2024, the Spirit of Harvest Days Award. See that down in the corner. And that's our presentation. We thank you so much, and we'd love to turn it over to the students and then have any questions or comments that you may have.
Thank you, Steve.
Hello, my name is Bella Waller. I am a second-year medical student at the University of Utah and one of the student leaders at Midvale CBC. I started at Midvale CBC's second month of medical school, which is where we all start our student-led clinics, which is a little bit of a daunting task to be told, okay, go see this patient. You've had 1 month of training. Thankfully, we have our amazing doctor preceptors there, our nurses and community health workers who are super engaging, super wanting to teach us, and we learn a lot from both them and from the patients, which is really awesome. I would not trade my experience at Midvale for the world. It's been a really amazing opportunity to both, again, learn from the patients, the community health workers, and the doctors, as well as my fellow students, and get to connect with the community and learn and meet from the community that we are training to serve as future doctors. So it's been a really great experience, and I'm really excited to continue being a part of Midvale CBC and other student-led clinics as we progress through our medical training. So it's been really great.
Thank you, Bella.
We have a Kate.
Hello, my name is Cade Solich. I'm also a second-year medical student at the University of Utah. Like Bella was saying, now maybe a little bit unnecessary information, but recently the School of Medicine underwent a curriculum change. So now it's required that medical students rotate through these community health clinics, and Midvale being one of them. So now it's a pretty fundamental aspect of our education that all first-year students are going to be working at clinics like this. And it's been a fantastic way to actually be able to engage with the community and engage with patients and actually practice what we're learning in a way with people and trying to help others. And one unique aspect of what we do at Midvale is that we, as student leaders, Bella and I being two of them, there are others that are there as well. But one really cool aspect is that throughout medical training, usually you're trying to blend into the environment and trying to just survive and trying to figure out the clinic flow. But at Midvale, we have the unique opportunity of engaging with the community and also trying to help shape how best we can make Midvale flow for the student perspective, but as well as a preceptor perspective and the patient perspective to try to really help people as best as we can. And it's been a great opportunity. Bella's actually a community outreach co-director, so she does a lot of events within the community. I'm quality improvement, so trying to do things to try to bolster up the flow of the clinic. And then we have other students at our clinic that are working on labs, so working directly with ARUP in order to try to get lab processing more efficient for our patients and trying to get the results to them faster. So it's a cool way that students can also engage directly with the community and try to impact the clinic in a way that we think would best help the community. So it's been a fantastic experience. And right now we're actually helping the class beneath us in their transition to working in the clinic right now. And yeah, it's great. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate.
Just one closing remarks. Again, thank you for your support. We have very exciting things coming to the Midvale CBC. One is that, and probably will be in our next year report, we're starting a new partnership with the College of Nursing. Now on Fridays, our nurse practitioners are coming and starting to also see patients. By next semester, which is going to be February, we're going to increase from seeing 4 patients on Fridays. This is in addition to what the University of Utah School of Medicine does. We're going to increase to 12 patients, which that will help tremendously with open access to those who mostly need it. I also want to really thank our students. They are right now in middle of exams, but they are coming here to help, to share their experience, and we're very grateful to them. Without them and our preceptors at the University of Utah, this would not be possible. This is not to take anything from our dental program, that right now is also one of the most important services that we are providing to our community. Mental health is something new that we are starting. And again, we have all these service to our community. Being part of the Midvale Appellate Coalition is an honor to serve as a chair. I think this is giving us an opportunity to expand our services to all Midvale residents, and I think we're gonna make a big impact. We are very excited to work with you guys. I know that you want to go into city business, so if there's any questions or comments, our students will be very happy to answer any questions.
I've had this pain in my elbow. Take a look at that. No, we would, obviously, we're very proud to have the CBC here in Midvale. And we know that the vast majority of the clients you serve come from the Midvale community, and the things that you do there from a holistic approach, I think, are amazing. Not just focusing solely on physical healthcare, but the entire holistic body. We're lucky to have you guys here at CBC. Thank you for all that you do, and thank you to the clinicians who actually see the patients and do. But I've often thought that CBC is great, because of the patients to take care of, but also having that place for young doctors to come and actually start seeing patients on their own, I think is, we're lucky to have it here in Midvale, and we're lucky to partner with you guys.
Absolutely, and I just want to remind you that these young doctors are the ones who are going to be taking care of your kids, your grandkids. So it's a great opportunity for us, and very happy to give them the experience they have. So if there's no other questions, or if there's any questions, I'll be glad to answer. If not, we'll stick around and you can approach us. And again, thank you very much for your support.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, we have a Unified Fire Authority report, and I see he has entered the building. We have Chief K. Welcome, Chief.
Thanks, Mayor. Sorry I was a few minutes late. So, No, thanks for the time to kind of give an update on what's going on at UFA and kind of what we're doing here in Midvale. So, start out in November, we had recruit graduation. Mayor was there. He was in attendance. So we graduated 20 new recruits. 2 of those are currently working here in Midvale, so for part of their probationary period. So that's excellent. This month for UFA, for our community risk reduction kind of focus, we're focusing on the value of Utah 211 Utah and all the resources that it provides and how it can take some of the burden off of 911 response, not only for fire, but for police. So that's our kind of our community risk reduction message. This month is the value of using that 211 Utah. Our December safety message that we're pushing out across the UFA is we're getting into that season where home heating equipment is responsible for 46% of home fires. And so kind of our messaging with that is those fires start where the heat source is too close to combustible materials, furniture, blankets, clothing, etc. So of those 46% of home fires that start from heating equipment, 40% are space heaters. So they're the most dangerous things. So just be careful when we're using those as the message. And they typically happen during the evening hours when families are getting home. So that'll be the kind of the push this month for home safety. And then, specific to Midvale, last month in November, we ran 303 calls in Midvale City. 133 of those we considered emergent, so 44%. Year to date, we're at 3,814. Last year, we ran 3,943 total, so we're on track to have more calls than we did last year. So steadily seeing that increase. But that's my report for tonight. Any questions from council or mayor?
Any questions for Chief K? Thank you so much. Yep. Appreciate all you do. All right, moving on to public comments. Any person wishing to comment on any item not otherwise scheduled for a public hearing on the agenda may address the city council now. You'll be given 3 minutes. Luke, come on up. Welcome, Luke, and state your name, although I just did for the record.
Hello, my name is Luke Maines. I am the secretary for the Midvale Community Council, and just wanted to report that we are officially registered as a 501c3 organization. So if the city or any members of the community would like to make a tax-deductible donation to the Midvale Community Council, you're now able to do so. Very excited about that. It's been quite a journey getting there. But we're very proud and excited to be officially a nonprofit dedicated to helping the residents and community of Midvale. Also wanted to remind everyone that on the 17th, I believe, yes, the 17th of December, which is 2 Wednesdays from now, we are having a open Midvale Community Council holiday party that you are all invited to. We'd love to have you there. And it's just a potluck. So everyone will be bringing food and talking about all of the great plans and ideas we have for what the Midvale Community Council can accomplish going into 2026. And also I'll give you a heads up that in January, the terms of the executive committee, so me and the chair and everyone else, end according to our bylaws. And so there'll be an election in January. And so maybe you'll see new faces, maybe some of the same. We'll see what happens in January. But yep, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Luke. Is there anyone else who'd like to make public comment? And state your name for the record.
Jason Mazern, the Unified Police. Council Mayor, it's good to see you. I just wanted to mention that in your city on the 13th, we'll be having our annual Shopping with the Shield event. That's a week from this Saturday. I think Chief Morse is already talking about the one that's this Saturday, which is a separate event, but the one we have on the 13th is our UPD department-wide of families from all around the area and the county to Midvale, to go to the Walmart, and it's a heck of a fun event. And it's really, we've had a lot of cool stories and experiences come from that. I wanted to personally invite all of you. You're always welcome to attend that. Starts about 7 in the morning, and they give us the store for a couple hours, and we go crazy with the kids. So it's a lot of fun. But I want to just advise you of that. And if you're able to make it, we'd love to see you there. If not, see you on the next one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Would anyone else like to make public comment? Seeing none, we'll move along to council reports, and starting as always, District 1, Councilmember Bonnie Billings.
No updates today, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Paul Glover, District 2, welcome back to in-person meetings. We're glad to have you back.
Thank you. I was gonna tell the doctors there, they could come consult with me right after. I'd just like to wish everybody a great holiday season. Hope that we can all help other people and make their season better. Also, trying to think what I was gonna say. Thank you for all the kind cards and flowers and everything that was sent to me from the city. Appreciate that. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Heidi Robinson is not here tonight. Moving to District 4, Councilmember Bryant Brown.
Yeah, I just want to thank Public Works for starting to put up the Christmas lights on the light poles. It's the one thing a year my kids give me notes on if they're not up. And they started yesterday because it was December 1st, letting me know that the city hadn't, but they started today and they look great. So I appreciate it. I was watching them in kind of blustery weather, so I'm sure it's not fun, but we appreciate it. That's all.
Thank you.
It's the most important comment.
It is. Thank you. Councilmember Denise Mikalash, District 5, is she still on?
Yes, I am. Just wanted to say, I hope to see you all at the Light Up Main Street next Saturday. And it's also Giving Tuesday. So if you get a chance, we have lots of great community organizations in our area that could use the support. So please give before the end of the midnight. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember. Hurry back from Cleveland. We miss you.
I promise I will.
We'll see you at the next one. For my report, real quick, I was writing down a list of events that we have coming up, and there are a lot in the next few days. So I also noticed they're every 2 days. So we have an event 12/9, 11, 13, 15, and 17. But just so the council's aware, on 12/9 here at City Hall from 1 to 4 p.m. is the employee holiday party. So if you can stop by for that, that should be a good time. It was last year. Then on the 11th, we have the legislative breakfast at Cactus and Tropicals. That starts at 7:30 a.m. I tried my best to get that to be later in the morning, but we're stuck with that for now. Then on the 13th, light up Main Street from 5 to 8 p.m. on Main Street. New this year, we are going to have a Hanukkah menorah lighting here at City Hall on Monday, 12/15. That will start at 6:30 p.m. right here in this area, but not the council chambers. So we will have that event for anyone who wants to attend. We'll send some more information out about it. Is there any council member who wants to speak at that event? The invitation is there. You can get back to me and let me know so we can put together a run of show. And last but not least, Luke mentioned on 12/17, we have the community council potluck, 6 p.m. start time at the Tyler Library. Potluck, bring food, or cheat like me and say you'll bring music, which is much easier than cooking. So just wanted to run down that list of upcoming events. There are quite a number of them. If you can make all or some of them, we'd love to see you. So moving on then to city manager report, city manager Matt Dahl, who I've spent many hours with today. It's good to see you, Matt.
I gotcha. Well, Mayor, I do think you did fail to mention a couple things in your report. As most of you guys know, everyone out there. We are members of a lot of organizations that do very important things, serving not only our community, but other communities. Whether that's sort of being a member of UPD or UFA, but there's a myriad of other ones. And something that I think would be very beneficial for Midvale, the mayor has been elected to a few different positions in some of those organizations. And I noticed he didn't say anything about them. Do you want to say something about them? Or do you want me to say more about them?
If you put me on the spot, yeah, I think I may have told individual council members. But the Council of Governments has elected me as their vice chair for next year. And that's a really important one. That's where we get we meet with mayors and council members from all over the county and really get to talk about a lot of issues that aren't necessarily new or just Midvale issues, but they're county issues, and a lot of cities have already dealt with some of those issues. So it's really good networking and working out some regional strategies. But not that that one's not important, but the one I'm most happy to report is that I was elected immediately as the vice chair of the board of directors of UPD. So I'm pretty excited to serve in that role. I think there's a lot of good things that are going to happen in the next 2 years. So super excited about that. Thanks for mentioning that. Yeah. But yeah, there's that, again, if ever anything that you, the council, want me to report to any of those boards, please let me know. Happy to do it. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of minor things. First, Luke, congratulations on you guys getting that 501c3 status. That's awesome. I know you've been putting a lot into that organization, and we all appreciate that, as well as your colleagues. The next thing is, this is the last meeting of the year. Our next meeting will be January 6th. We'll have the swearing in for the candidates that were elected in November on that date. We will be, I don't think you covered this one yet, did you, in your list?
Last meeting.
Okay. Well, just as a quick reminder, we'll be doing a reception during the workshop time from 6 to 7 on January 6th for those new candidates. Or I guess no one was new for the re-elected officials. And then I think you guys actually covered a lot of the other stuff I was going to say. So the last thing is just, it was brought up that I'm the worst offender, but everyone else should think about it too. I had a few people who said they were struggling to hear us at the last meeting that were sitting in the audience. I know I leave the microphone up here, so help remind me to put that microphone in my face. And then also if we can speak clearly and into the microphone, that would be helpful as well. So with that, that's it for this evening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. One question on that. Is it the people who are in the audience? Because, once in a while I go back and look at the YouTube video and it always sounds like we're talking loud enough for the YouTube video.
It was people who were in the audience.
So
Okay.
they called me and they could hear me. I was on the Zoom. Yeah, but they couldn't hear those at the podium here.
Interesting. Seems like it should be the opposite. But yeah, okay. Point taken. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. We have quite a number of items on the consent agenda, and Garrett informed me today that I do not have to read all of these. So is there a motion from council to approve the consent agenda?
Mayor, I motion we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Rory, will you call the yeas and nays?
Yes, Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Mikalash,
Yes.
Billings,
Yes.
and Glover.
Aye.
Okay, that passes unanimously. Moving on, we have one action item tonight, and that is to consider ordinance number 2025-023, amending Midvale Municipal Code, section 10.6.150, overnight parking of certain vehicles prohibited, and enacting Midvale Municipal Code, commercial vehicle parking prohibition, and such. And here to discuss that is Daniel, Deputy City Attorney. Welcome, Daniel.
Thank you. Back by popular demand right here. I also expected the action items to go a lot longer than that. So again, this is from our discussion at the last council meeting. From that discussion, the proposed amendments, there's one amendment to a section and two proposed enactments of two new sections. The amended section is to the oversized vehicle parking. The changes to that are, it used to be no overnight oversized vehicle parking. It changes it to anytime, no oversized vehicle parking at any time, and then also adds exceptions for vehicles that are doing their job, such as loading, unloading people and property. The first enactment is for prohibition on commercial vehicles parking on public streets. And it's a pretty broad definition, any commercial vehicle, they're not allowed to park on public streets. Again, this one has some exceptions cut out to allow for those vehicles that are actively engaged in their work, such as loading and performing the services that they do. This is the one, as we discussed last meeting, the way it's drafted is that it is enhanceable. So the first offense would be an infraction. People who repeatedly offend would move up to a Class C misdemeanor from there on. The last enactment is for, oh, I didn't see it switch. It's for the parking of the city-owned parking lots and city-controlled parking lots. Again, it's a prohibition on overnight parking in the city-owned parking lots, and it's also a limiting on how long a commercial vehicle can park in a public-owned, city-owned and ran parking lot. Again, same as all the others, there's some exceptions cut out. That some vehicles are exempt from this, which is city-owned vehicles, employees, people who are doing things on behalf of the city, and they would be exempt from this. There's also exemptions for permits and other such things. And with that, if there's any questions.
This is actually Daniel this morning getting here to work.
Can't catch them all, but I can tighten it up.
Any questions from council?
I had a few people reach out to me on this, which I don't necessarily get, and everyone was like, make it as restrictive as possible. So, which I thought was interesting. Sometimes I usually get like, we kind of made that statement. But yeah, very supportive, a few people. So it became a bigger issue, I think, than I kind of realized. So, yeah.
Yeah, this has been about 6 months in the making since we first talked about this ordinance. So I appreciate all the work that you and legal staff have done to create something. And I do understand there's a little bit of a lag time between, passing this tonight and when we can actually start that enforcement process. Do you have any comments on that, or Garrett, maybe just so if we start getting residents reaching out to us tomorrow, why aren't we not enforcing this immediately? Yeah, why is it chief not leaving now to go issue some tickets?
That I will defer to Garrett.
So state code requires that the ordinance be noticed for a period of time before it can be enacted. And I believe when we looked at it, it's 20 days. It's the earlier of the two of 20 days from when it's posted or 30 days from when it's passed. So my understanding is Rory's going to post this tomorrow, and which means 20 days from tomorrow we'll be able to enforce it.
So not even till like next year.
I
Almost
believe
Christmas
that it
Eve.
was
Time for the
Christmas
holidays.
Eve.
Yeah. We can start Christmas Eve.
So
Merry Christmas.
No, thank you for that explanation. Again, thank you for all the work you've done on it. It's been 6 months in the making. There is a motion on the board for council to consider.
I move that we approve ordinance number 2025-0-23, amending Midvale Municipal Code Section 10.16.150, overnight parking of certain vehicles prohibited, and enacting Midvale Municipal Code Sections 10.16.160, commercial vehicle parking prohibited, and 10.16.170, city parking facilities regulations.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Rory, will you call the yeas and nays?
Yes, Councilmember Mikalash.
Yes.
Billings,
Yes.
Glover,
Aye.
and Brown.
Yes.
Okay, that passes unanimously. Thank you. Moving on, we have 2 discussion items tonight. The first, discuss Utah State Government Data Privacy Act, and here to discuss that is Rory.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is such an exciting topic. I offered Matt $50. He said, make it 10, and then I still wouldn't do it. 10, actually not $10, $10,000.
So I just want to point out that this is literally my job. So as boring as it will be, it's like my
If I make any
20%.
mistakes, you can let me know, okay?
It's really exciting is what I'm getting.
Super exciting. It's a little confusing. I think the state's still a little bit confused as to how they're supposed to be doing this. So the Data Privacy Act has been out for a while. It's been enhanced this last legislative session. We are working diligently on creating a privacy program report. The report needs to be done by the end of December 2025. The program must include policies, practices, procedures for processing personal data. It's all about personal data. The personal data equals information linked or reasonably linked to an identified or identifiable individual. The compliance, the entities may only obtain and process the minimum data necessary to achieve the specific purpose. As you know, we have the grandma, which we do provide information to people. And we do have a couple of other things where we do collect private data. So the requirements apply to processing activities implemented after 5/1/24. And by January 1, 2027, the entities must identify non-compliant processing activities, document non-compliant processing activities, and prepare a strategy for compliance, which is what we're in the process of doing. The requests and notices amendments, the entities must provide a personal data request notice when collecting personal data to let the people know that if they wanted anything changed on the data, they could do that. The personal data may only be used for the purposes stated in the notice, and the entities must provide a procedure for individuals to request corrections, as well as entities are not obligated to make the requested corrections, but we don't collect a lot of data, but we do have some, especially with utilities and things like that, that we do have. The prohibited practices cities may not establish, maintain, or use undisclosed or covert surveillance unless permitted by law. I really kind of like the covert surveillance. We had a little discussion on that. Garrett doesn't think we actually do a lot of covert surveillance, so that's a good thing. We may not sell personal data unless expressly required by law, may not share personal data unless permitted by law. Entities must report the types of personal data they share or sell. And this is what we do in the report. Must report the basis for sharing or selling. We do not sell anything, but we do share through grandma. Must report to the recipients of the personal data. Training requirements. This is something that is new. There is an 8-minute video that I'd be happy to send you all. It's great listening. Employees must complete a data privacy training within 30 days of employment and annually. So we've had this annual training already in our all-staff meeting last month. So I think we only have 3 or 4 employees that have not done it. That is also included in the report that we're preparing. Data breach reporting. This is Mr. Pierce, IT Director's position. He's going to be looking at this if we ever have any kind of a breach. There are several things that we do have to do. It is affecting if there's 500 plus individuals, we have to report it to the Cyber Center and the Attorney General. Must also report unauthorized access, disclosure loss, or compromise of systems or data. And then he must notify all individuals affected regardless of the number of individuals. This is what the state has put together. This is what they call the Ready, Set, Go. And this is what we are working on right now. As you recall, back in October 7th, we designated Matt Dahl as the CAO, and then Charlie and myself as the appointed records officers. Both Charlie and I have already we've already done the annual training for grandma. We do it every year. And then, of course, the privacy training, which we just have completed. So we'll put that in the report. Second set, planning and assessment phase, is the completion of the privacy program report, which we are doing. It's a sizable report, and we have gone through it with fine-tooth comb, and it's ongoing. We'll continue to do this every year. We are still in the process of conducting an inventory of all the processes that we have. So we want to make sure that we cover everything. So right now we're still in the planning phase of this. However, the report has to be completed, which we have completed the report. That is done. Has to be done by the end of December. And then from there, it's basically saying that, yes, we acknowledge this. We're going to continue to work towards this inventory, identifying and prioritizing strategies, and then the execution and monitoring phase. So we just have to let them know that we know about it, we're doing it, and we're in the process. Any questions? Brian, did I miss anything?
No, it's
Okay,
great. And
great.
can't wait to see it implemented.
Okay, perfect. And if you would like to see the report, I'd be happy to send it out to you. Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rory. Moving on to discussion item B, discuss a code amendment to Midvale City Code Title 7, Chapter 4, Emergency Abatement to ensure compliance with due process rights. Again, gracing us with his presence is Daniel.
You're welcome. So this actually came to the staff's attention relatively recently, where there was some concerns about a property in Midvale where we were going to do an emergency abatement on it. Through that process, we realized that there were some gaps for due process in what is currently written into our code for the emergency abatement. So the proposed amendment takes care of that gap. The main substantive difference with this is that when we start an emergency abatement, within 10 calendar days of starting that emergency abatement, we will give notification to the property owner or responsible person, notifying them that they have the right to a hearing to appeal it. We did already have in our code that they did have the right. We just were lacking in the notification aspect of it. The other significant change or addition in it is that we added in language that clarifies that even if somebody does in fact act upon their rights and request a hearing, that the city is going to continue to with the emergency abatement until that emergency no longer exists or until otherwise ordered by the administrative law judge. So that's what this item is there for, is to capture that gap and close it up. If there's any questions or comments?
Any questions for Daniel? You'll put this on our next meeting agenda for action.
Yes.
Okay. Sound good? Thank you. Okay, we don't have a closed session tonight, so we can adjourn to our redevelopment agency meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor of adjourning to our redevelopment agency meeting, say aye.
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Okay, we are magically reconvened into the redevelopment agency in Midvale City. Same characters, different titles. Rory, will you call the roll?
Yes, Board Member Glover.
Here.
Billings. Here. Mikalash.
Here.
And Brown.
Present.
Board Member Robinson is excused.
Okay, that's all of us. Public comments, if there's anyone wishing to comment on an item that's not otherwise scheduled for a hearing, step right up. Luke, you going for it? Nope, no other members of the public. Oh, there's two back there. They're not moving. All right, we'll move on then to the consent agenda. There are two items. Consider the minutes of November 18th, 2025, and consider the resolution 2025-13 RDA establishing a time and place for holding Midvale RDA meetings for the 2026 calendar year. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Mary, motion we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Rory, will you call the roll?
Yes, Board Member Mikalash.
Yes.
Glover.
Aye.
Billings.
Yes.
And Brown.
Yes.
Okay, that passes unanimously. Moving on, we have one action item tonight, and glad we all have eaten because this made most of us hungry last time. Consider resolution number 2025-14 RDA approving the term sheet for a business loan agreement between the redevelopment agency of Midvale City and Greek Streak Taverna LLC. And here to present is not Aubrey, as it says on our sheet, but the very capable Kate.
Yes, thank you, board, and thank you, chair. Aubrey presented to the board last week a discussion on a loan proposal for Greek Streak Taverna LLC. So just as a brief reminder of the loan terms that are being proposed, it would be an $80,000 loan with 2% interest, with the 2% interest rate. It'll be a 7-year loan. The first payment date would be the first full month following the opening of the business, or June 1st, whichever comes first. And we are going to be securing 100% of the loan amount for collateral. And again, as a reminder, the restaurant will be located just across the street here at the 6th and Main development on the main floor. And then if you have any questions, otherwise there's the resolution.
Okay, thank you, Kate. Any questions or comments from council? Okay. Motion on the board.
I move that we pass resolution number 2025-14 RDA approving the term sheet for a business loan agreement between the redevelopment agency of Midvale City and Greek Streak Taverna LLC.
Second?
Okay, motion and a second. Rory, will you call the yeses and nos?
Yes. Board Member Billings,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Mikalash,
Yes.
and Glover.
Aye.
Okay, that passes unanimously. Cannot wait to try their food. It's gonna be great. Let's see here. We do not have a closed session. So we can entertain a motion to adjourn the RDA meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor of adjourning RDA, say aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Any opposed? Okay, we are magically reconvened now as the Municipal Building Authority of Midvale City. Same people. Rory, for the third time tonight, will you call the roll?
Yes. Board Member Glover,
Here.
Mikalash,
Here.
Billings,
Here.
and Brown.
In attendance.
And Board
Okay,
Member
that-
Robinson is still excused.
Okay, that'd be weird if she popped up,
It
but.
Really?
Moving on to public comments. Any person wishing to comment on any item not otherwise scheduled for a public hearing on the agenda may address the Municipal Building Authority Board at this point. Just as a reminder, there's only been one person ever to do so. And she is not here tonight, so not seeing any movement. Moving on to the consent agenda. We have two items. Consider the minutes of June 3rd, 2025, and consider resolution number 2025-03 MBA adopting the 2026 MBA meeting schedule. Is there a motion to approve the consent
Mayor,
agenda?
motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Rory, will you call the yeas and nays?
Yes. Board Member Brown,
Yes.
Mikalash,
Yes.
Glover,
Aye.
and Billings.
Yes.
Okay, that passes unanimously. We do not have a closed session for the MBA. So is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, we can stay here if you want. All those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Yes.
Yes.
Are there any opposed? Okay, we are adjourned. Happy holidays, everyone, though we will be seeing each other every 2 days from now until Christmas.
Everyone else, see you next year.
Thank you.
Bye, Denise.
Bye.
6:53.